So, hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Draugen. Ich habe eine ganz kurze Pause gemacht, das heißt 'ne ganz kurz von für 'ne Pause von einem Tag. Und, jetzt können wir wieder voll durchstarten. Ähm, Ich weiß gar nicht, wir waren bei Tag 3, glaube ich. Ich hatte da gerade begonnen. Schauen wir mal. Wenn es irgendwie fertig lädt. Tag 3, sage ich ja. Na, ist der Sound richtig eingestellt? Ja, okay. Ja, nö, ist eigentlich alles ganz laut.
Alice?
Right up the stairs, Teddy.
Ich sehe sehr K.O. aus.
Where are you?
I'm upstairs. Teddy? Is that you?
Lissie?
Upstairs!
Habe ich das schon gezeichnet? Ich glaube nicht. Na dann. Bin gespannt, wie viele Plätze es gibt zum Zeichnen. Ach, cool.
Where are you, Lissie?
In here. This is her room.
Hmm?
Are you paying attention? Ruth. Can you imagine? One moment you're living a perfectly happy life, and then nothing. Darkness. Forever and ever. Maybe there's something here that can tell us what happened to her.
This is a waste of my time.
We might be the only ones left to tell her story, Edward.
You're just being melodramatic. I'll help you look.
Ruth was an artist.
This is very primitive.
Have you ever met a child, Edward? She wasn't Monet, she was 8. She found something.
Where's that supposed to be?
A cave. Or the...
Mine? It could be. But what did she find?
something important enough to draw.
There's still no sign of the Fretlands.
Maybe they left town after Ruth died.
What's the point of this? I should be looking for Betty.
I hate you sometimes.
Nur manchmal.
What am I looking for?
Anything out of the ordinary. Something that could explain what happened to Ruth.
This is real life, not a whodunit by Agatha Christie. There won't be a convenient series of clues leading to a tidy conclusion.
Says you.
This is a waste of time.
Edward, you horrid man! Sorry. Please stay. I can't stand the thought of Ruth tossed aside because you're too busy to care.
There's nothing here.
What about these drawings? They could be important. That must be Ruth and Simon's fathers.
Perhaps. They weren't on the best of terms.
They look like they want to kill each other.
To a child, maybe it looked worse than it was.
Children are more insightful than you give them credit for, Teddy Bear.
Okay.
There's nothing here.
What about these drawings? They could be important. Ruth never finished this. What does that spell? F-O-R-B.
Banelson. The curse.
Who's that figure supposed to be? It's creepy.
A figment of her imagination. But the box she drew. It looks like this box under her desk.
Really? Let me see. Pull it out.
Ich habe mich vorher gar nicht gesehen.
There's nothing here.
What about these drawings? They could be important. What is this?
I believe this might qualify as actual treasure.
Is that Norwegian money?
Sort of, but ancient. Viking coins.
Are they valuable?
Not in terms of monetary value, but historically. They belong in a museum.
Looks like Ruth had her own private museum.
Why would a child have these artifacts?
She must have enjoyed collecting and playing with them.
These are much too precious to play with. She should have given these to an adult.
She was a child, Edward. To her, they were just shiny toys. Wait! The pin! On the doll!
This is where it came from, her collection.
But where did she find these treasures?
If we're to believe her drawing, perhaps the mine. She may have found a gravesite. Wherever she found them, she wanted to keep them hidden.
You think someone found out?
These items wouldn't necessarily be worth much, except to a historian or archaeologist.
What if this is how... I mean, if someone learned she'd been collecting treasures, they might be willing to do terrible things.
Oh Mann. Ich hoffe einfach, sie wurde nicht einfach umgebracht wegen diesem bisschen. Also für mich ist das jetzt nur ein bisschen, weil das ist halt nur ein bisschen was von dem eventuell vorhandenen Schatz, der in der Mine ist.
There's nothing here.
What about these drawings?
Ist das
They
ein
could be
Hase?
important.
Teddy.
This must be the village church. That's Ruth and her family on one side of the aisle, Simon and his father on the other.
A community divided.
Oh je.
There's a story here. The treasure box, the drawings.
The overactive mind of an imaginative child.
Well, she didn't imagine the Viking artifacts. You shouldn't be so dismissive. The drawings could be her way of dealing with traumatic
This is
events.
what happens when I read you the principles of psychology. You get notions.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Ruth was troubled. The village was troubled, and... Is that a bell?
The church bell. Someone's here. Maybe Betty.
Why would Betty ring the church bell?
Perhaps she's in trouble. I need to get to the church right now.
Wait, isn't it more likely to be the person you saw the other night? We should be careful.
I told you, I'm not sure that was anything. Come on.
Go ahead. I'll catch up with you before you get there. I need a minute to think about all of this.
Are you coming?
In a minute. You go on ahead.
Ich will das noch angucken.
Do you see anyone?
They must be inside the church.
Ich habe immer Bedenken, dass da jetzt gleich jemand um die Ecke kommt. Aber wie komme ich denn zu der Kirche hoch? Das ist doch alles zugesperrt. Der will ja nicht über Zäune springen. Irgendjemand muss doch da sein, sonst sieht die Leute doch nicht ohne Grund. Ach, jetzt geht es. Hallo? Ist jemand hier? Ist bestimmt 12 Uhr mittags.
Alice?
I'm up at the barn.
Ja, lang, ne. Oh Mann, oh. Ich kann mich hier nirgendwo mal in Ruhe umgucken.
July 24th, memorial service. A commemoration of the accident at the mine this past summer. No services after that. Lissie! Where are you, Lissie? Where are you, Lissie? Alice! Where are you? Lissie!
Hängt ein Zettel.
All these fresh graves. Do you think that maybe
No.
Betty...
I'd know.
But
You wouldn't understand. Elizabeth and I, we have a bond.
God, Edward, your obsession with her is really starting to grate.
The bell's still ringing.
Let's check inside the church.
Oh, guck mal, ich kann hier zeichnen. Schnell zeichnen. Aber es steht nichts auf den Gräbern drauf, ne?
Why board up a church?
To keep the ghosts from escaping?
Regardless of how they got past the boards, there's someone in there.
Who did this?
Someone who'd lost their faith.
Gone fishing?
God is not here.
Well, of course he isn't. You won't find God in a church. God is the wind in the trees, the grass between your toes, the brook that runs
That's
through.
nature, not God.
Can you peek through the boards? See anyone?
No,
Listen! The bell! They're still in there!
Hello? I heard the bell.
Oh, this is giving me the
I'm here to help.
heebie-jeebies.
These boards look flimsy enough to break.
Ausnahmsweise.
Look at that. The Ethel becomes an Edward. I didn't think you had it in you, old fruit.
Be quiet. It must be her ringing the bell. It must be Betty.
We'll soon find out.
It must be her ringing the bell. Betty? Are you here? Hello? This is Edward Harden. I'm looking for my sister,
Stop
Elizabeth.
shouting, Edward. We're alone. There are only ghosts here.
There are no ghosts.
I don't know about that.
That bell still bothers me. What a terrible mess.
First the store, then this. What was wrong with these people?
They were angry and afraid. I'm no closer to Betty than I was yet. Lissie, look. Betty's gloves. They are definitely Betty's.
Oh, for
She got
Pete's
these
sake.
in Boston before she left for New York. She bought them at Woolworth. I remember the day She's here.
Where? And why would she leave her clothes lying around? It doesn't make
Breadcrumbs.
sense.
She's sending me a message. She knew I'd recognize her gloves, her hat. She's left a trail for me to follow, like Ariadne's red thread.
We're not in a
Betty would
labyrinth.
have left more crumbs.
Betty, you're turning into such a pill.
I'm not leaving until I find some sign of Betty.
Whatever you say.
I'm not leaving until I find some sign of Betty.
Whatever you say. What happened here?
The sign on the door. God is not here. Their faith was challenged, and it didn't survive.
Wo ist denn das Seil hin?
I'm not leaving until I find some sign of Betty.
Whatever you say.
The church book, a record of births and deaths.
So we can find out what happened to the people in the village?
And Elizabeth. I mean, if she was dead.
Her name would be in the book.
Vandals. Tore it to pieces.
I don't think the missing pages left the church. Look. How many pages are missing?
I counted 4.
They're probably all still here. I know. Let's make it a competition. 1-0 to Team Me. I wanted you to find that one. I know what a rotten loser you are. I've never seen you read the Bible before.
I've read the Bible many times. It's an important historical document. For he is our peace, who hath made both one, and hath broken down the middle wall of partition between us.
Did you just translate that into Olden English?
I happen to know the verse by heart.
You still manage to surprise me sometimes. Jesus looks sad.
What reason would Jesus have to be happy?
Don't be blasphemous.
Given that this is all fiction, blasphemy is a contradiction.
Heretic.
They considered this a sacred place. For them to destroy it. This was an act of desperation and anger.
Da scheint jemand wirklich sauer gewesen zu sein.
Doing? We're in a church.
Thought you didn't believe in God.
I do believe in civility.
What's that?
The last sermon that was held here.
What does it say?
The vicar's handwriting is hard to decipher, and the language. He talks about the village being divided for 20 years. This sermon was held on the anniversary of the accident this past summer. He's asking the congregation to help heal old wounds, to forgive, move on. Something to the effect of, you sit in separate aisles in God's house.
Like Ruth's drawing. I told you, she was perceptive.
Tilly varandra.
Edward?
Forgive each other. It addresses Johann and Frederick directly. But I wonder if they were even here.
Remember the wedding picture? They were close friends once. How could they allow their grudge to escalate until...
You call each other traitors. But the only thing you've betrayed are the bonds that unite us. It sounds like Grovik was split in two, between those who stood by Johann and those who supported Frederick.
Because of Ruth?
The sermon is from before that. No, this is all about the preceding 20 years of division and disagreements. Here's something else. Many of you believe Grovik was cursed 20 years ago. God has not cursed you. This curse is of your own making.
Ruth's drawing mentioned a curse. What do you think that means?
It means they believed they were cursed, and that they needed something or someone to blame for their misfortune.
Okay. Wie wir hier in dieser Kirche weitermachen, erfahrt ihr in der nächsten Folge von
Found another one.
Draugen.
You get it. It's right here.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen, fürs Mitmachen, fürs Dabeisein und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao, ciao.